Hi guys, I'm making this very simple potato pasta recipe. It's called gnocchi, and you can make it with just a few ingredients which I'm sure will be available at your place at this time. And if you guys are getting bored sitting at home, you can make this recipe. The ingredients are really simple and I am sure everybody will have these ingredients. 500 grams of potato, which is roughly about 2 large potatoes, 1 cup of maida or refined flour, minced or chopped garlic. I've used 6 because I love the flavor of garlic, but you can use how many ever you like, and just a splash of milk, or you can use 1 egg, but if you don't want to use egg you can just use a splash of milk, and cheese, but this is optional. If you have cheese you can use it. If you don't, it can work without that as well. So I'm just going to mash it like that. And then I'm going to add this 1 cup of flour and garlic. And then I'm going to add a splash of milk, maybe 2 tablespoons, and just mash. So you can use a fork and just take another splash of milk and just mix it. And then I've added some salt, pepper and cheese, and I'm going to mix it. Wash your hands and then just take some flour in your hand, and then you need a plate or a tray. If you have a baking paper, put a baking paper, or you can just sprinkle some flour. Rub some flour in your hand and you can sprinkle the rest on your plate. And just take the dough, divide it into 2 and just roll it like so. If it's too sticky, you can just use some flour on your hand. Just roll it like that and flatten it slightly on the plate or a tray. And freeze it, and then whenever you want to cook it, just take it out from your freezer and boil the fridge for about 20 minutes, and then take it out, cut it into squares, and after that I will cook it. I'm going to cook this gnocchi in some butter sauce. You can cook it in any sauce that you like, but this is really simple. So you can cook it in tomato sauce, that tastes really nice as well, or you can just use a ready-made pasta sauce and just, you know, cook your gnocchi in some butter and then just top it with some tomato pasta sauce that you get in like a jar or something. But now the easiest ingredients I think that you will have at home is butter and some garlic and some chili flakes and any herbs that you have. If you don't have any herbs, you can just add pepper or some dried oregano. I'm just using some fresh rosemary, chili flakes, and these are just garlic granules. You can just use fresh garlic as well. So I'm just going to let this butter melt. It looks like a lot of butter, but then I'm cooking quite a lot of gnocchi, which I will reheat and eat tomorrow as well. So you're going to let this butter melt and become slightly brown. You don't want to burn the butter, but you want to just make it golden brown. So for that you just need to keep the butter on a very medium to low flame, I would say. Don't keep it high at all. Medium flame is fine. And then you just want to cook the butter till it starts getting that nice fragrance, and you will see it turns slightly golden. And once you see that your butter is nice and golden and fragrant, then you can add your chili flakes, garlic, and if you're using any herbs, and then you will toss your gnocchi in this sauce, and then it's ready to eat. So now my butter is bubbling, and as you can see, it's got a nice golden color to it. At this stage, I'm going to add the garlic, and you can turn your flame to low, otherwise your garlic and your herbs will start burning. So just turn it to low, add your garlic, your herbs, and chili flakes. Give it a mix. So you want this ready before you start cooking your gnocchi. On the other end, I have a pot of boiling water. So I'm going to cook the pasta in there, and then once they're ready, I'm going to directly toss it from there to this pan. So till your pasta is cooking, you just take it off the flame. Just leave it on the side. So it's ready to go, and when your pasta is ready, just get it back on the flame and just toss your pasta in the butter sauce. Also for the butter, I used unsalted butter, so I'm just going to add a little bit of salt. But if you're using salted butter, you can omit the salt. So I've cut my potato pasta or the gnocchi into squares. You can leave them big, or then you can make it small. And then I'm just going to start putting them in this boiling water. You don't want to put too many at one time. So for such a big pot, I could put about 10 to 12 at a time. Cooking time totally depends on how thick you've rolled your pasta, but you know it is ready when they start floating on top. I will show you. See, as they're cooking, they've started to float, and once they all come, oops, that's steam. So once they all start coming up to the surface, I've got back my butter sauce onto the flame, and I'm going to increase it to quite a high flame because I want it to be really hot. So when I put this gnocchi, it gets a crispy outside, and then it's really nice when you get that slight crispiness on the outside and the soft texture inside. So as you can see, it's starting to float now, and my sauce is nice and bubbling hot. So what I'm going to do is take a slotted spoon. You just want to drain that water, just drain the water, and then just toss it into this pan. As you can see, these are a bit bigger chunks of the pasta, so they took a little longer to cook. If you have smaller chunks, they'll take lesser time. But you know they're ready when they start floating. You want to handle them fairly delicately, but you don't want them to break. And then just toss them in the butter sauce. And I like it when it gets a bit crispy from the outside, so I leave them in the pan on a high heat to crispen up a little bit from the outside on both sides, and then I just serve it. It's so tasty and comforting. And you want your pan to be really hot, so use it on a high flame. So I'm using an induction, so I have put it on nearly the highest setting. then in the meanwhile, while this is cooking, I'm going to cook the other batch. Now these are smaller ones, so they're going to cook quicker. Lift these over and you can see it's got a nice golden crispy skin on the outside. I'm going to let that happen on the other side and then take these out and then cook the remaining gnocchi in the same pan. There's enough sauce for the entire batch. That's it, it's ready. I've just served it with some cracked pepper. You don't need anything from the top, no extra cheese, because the butter is quite rich and it's really tasty just as is. If you're not using the butter sauce and you're using tomato sauce, I would still recommend you to toss it in some butter and just get that crispy skin from the outside and then pour your tomato sauce from the top.